Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So I suppose we'll start out with introductions first. I'm Game Guy SD, and we'll be running BattleBlock Theater. And on the couch...
Hello there, I'm the Mibulus. I used to hold world record until I joked to Game Guy about how he should try taking it, and then he did.
And here we are. Yeah, so this first chapter is mainly focused on teaching you the basic movement mechanics, so we won't be seeing anything too complicated just yet.
Yeah. We got fairly routine platformer stuff, jumping, a little bit of sliding motion, avoid water. You saw some lava blocks which bounces around, and you saw some cloud blocks which we can stand on top of, but we can't fall back through.
Yeah.
What really sets BattleBlock Theater apart from some other platformers is its use of weapons. You saw there, Game Guys used the Force Ball. It's the weapon we'll use the most during this run. Basically, if you're standing either horizontal against a wall or rising up, and it comes underneath you and hits you, it'll propel you up into the air, and we use it to get around, get some height much faster than we usually would be able to.
And some other special features.
We'll come on to those later. One special feature we will come on to is Omega boosting. So, didn't quite get it there, but if you jump and then use your force ball, the frame after you jump, when you're flush against the wall, you'll be able to boost off it. It means we can boost off some places we're not really meant to boost off, because boosting is an intended mechanic. So we can get some places much faster, and we can do a lot of puzzles the way that we're really not meant to.
Never lose hope. I know I did.
Probably a good time now to talk about cycles in the game. Some cycles are consistent, so Fuzzy Bears, when we come onto them later, and Weapon Cats, their cycles always come at the same time. Fuzzy Bears are always moving in the same direction at the same start point. We can use that to our advantage. Some cycles aren't consistent. For example, cannons, once they start firing, they're always on the same cycle, but the point they start at is random. Also lasers, the shot duration of the lasers, when you see them later, is constant, but the cooldown period between the shots is slightly random.
Yeah. And that comes into effect more later, when levels start revolving around what cycles you get.
Yeah. Right, there you saw two things worth talking about. First was Game Guy was standing on ice when he got boosted, so he got far, far more horizontal movement than vertical movement. The second was he swapped to his second weapon, which was Bomb Frog, and because of that, he can drop the frog into water and walk along it a short period before it explodes. So use that to grab a gem that you're not supposed to get that way. There's an example of the Omega boost there. To open the exit in each level, you need to collect 3 gems. Every extra, because they'll give you the stamps at the end for every gem you collect, the timestamp. We should get the timestamp in the speedrun, if we're honest. If we haven't, something's gone very, very wrong.
Hopefully we won't see any of that.
Yeah. But if you collect any extra gems, it's 0.3 seconds for every extra stamp. So
Yeah,
we'll only
about
try and
that.
collect 3 in any percent no level skips. On to the category name. Any percent no level skips means we're playing every stage in the first 3 acts and the 2 finales, because they're what's required to a story level, and we'll get a letter grade in them. You may have seen that Game Guy entered a separate level and exited out of that one. Some of you may be saying that sounds a lot like cheating, but don't worry, it's not. The way secret exits work is when you enter it, it counts, it takes you out of the level, but gives you a letter grade based on how you've already performed. So it takes all the gems you've got, all the yarn, the timestamp if you have it, and it will award you the letter grade for that level. And you can just exit straight out the secret level.
I'm just disappointed it meant we skipped that awesome song.
Good for you and your bee.
Sometimes you can make that laser cycle at the start, but you have to be a little bit lucky. Not doing the risky strat, I see.
Yeah, no. That's way too inconsistent. It's possible to do that without the boat, but it's silly.
It is very silly. It involves a frame-perfect trick and then a 2-frame jumping window afterwards, and then another jumping window after that with about... How many frames is on that second window?
Like 2 frames.
Another 2 frames as well.
Yeah.
Got a $10 donation from Recknick that says, "Hey, game guy and Nibs, good luck with the run. If this gets red, I'll double it.
You get the best
We'll hold you
time
to it."
I can and have 1 billion times over. I'm also a mathematical guy. Who am I? What's going on? I don't know.
A little bit of movement tech there. He used the frog there to skip under, making the boat drop down. BattleBlock Theatre's out on Xbox and PC. There are some slight version differences. The most noticeable being PC has 2 weapon slots, Xbox only has 1. And another one is the cat's hitbox and weight changes, so boosting them around to solve some puzzles becomes a little bit different. One advantage the Xbox does have is that the boats fall much faster for some reason. So on Xbox it's about as fast to just go for the boat. PC loses you about 1.5 seconds there.
That was a fine performance. Just fine.
We're at the end of the chapter now, and there's about 30 seconds of just nothing. So if you want to read off any donations we have, now's a good time.
Sure. Got a $5 anonymous donation that says, "Hey, I'm Game Guy SD's brother. We've watched AGDQ together for a few years now, and it's kind of mind-blowing he's running in it now.
Boy, this place is quite the
Thank you to everyone involved for what you do. Not only are you bringing entertainment to a lot of people, you're saving lives. Oh, and dearest brother, don't mess this up or I'm going to have to come down there and beat you up."
Gems of 3 will set you free.
Have a $30 donation from Perilous Pixie that says, "All the props to the tech crew and announcers working on keeping this sweet train rolling." Thanks, Pixie. Also like to mention one of our sponsors, Devolver Digital. They're purveyors of fine digital entertainment from indie artists worldwide. You can check them out at devolverdonquick.com to get previous Devolver GDQ games and support the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Personally, I would recommend Titan Souls.
Yeah. Just a little boost here, just to get round.
That was really good, actually.
That was really good, yeah. You see him pausing before he's entering the secret level. The reason he's doing it is because if you pause on the same frame as you enter a cutscene, you have the ability to menu within that cutscene. So it saves about up to 2 seconds on menuing.
It's a lot more beneficial on console because you have to use controller to navigate the menu.
Yeah.
Up we go.
That jump to wrap around underneath the overhang and hit the bottom of that lava block is a really hard jump to make.
I remember a time when I was proud of
Sometimes you can ride the cat. The cat will follow you all the way out. You can just ride off the top of him. It makes it much easier, but other than that, not much you can do about it.
Sometimes the AI of the cats breaks and they just stay still.
find some gems. We need of them.
So these are the fuzzy bears. They'll also always be on a cycle from when he restarts the level. Lasers are deadly. We don't like dying, so we just block the laser.
Yeah, it's possible to do that ending bit without blocking it, but you might take longer.
Yeah. Can you uncycle that ending?
Yeah, but it's really uncommon.
Yeah. You have to have the longest possible laser cooldown.
Yeah.
These blocks are called the Nobody Likes Me blocks. That's
They're
because
terrible.
yeah, they move at random, any random time, either randomly up, down, left, right. Doesn't matter if you're standing on it. Doesn't matter if it blocks you. It'll move to block your path. They become more of a problem later, but we'll point them out later.
We have a $30 20-cent donation from Winslash that says, "This game is brought to you by Yarn." Yarn! It's a ball!
You should make its final cycle. Yeah. Because the fuzzy bears are on a cycle, if you get through that level quickly, you have that nice clean boost straight up that channel. Proper nice.
Yeah, it's usually dependent on the laser on the far right.
I sure hope you find gems and not death.
2-7 is by far the worst level in Chapter 2, just because of how much RNG is involved with it compared to every other level. You have that laser at the start. It can start before you reach it, and you have no way of doing it because you have to make that boost blind. The cats can block you, the cannon can shoot the wrong way at the wrong time. These ice cats, because they're weapon cats, they'll fire at the same time, but the trajectory of the ice blocks is random. Plus you've got the Nobody Likes Me blocks, and it's just a real hassle getting through there sometimes.
Yeah, it's a mess. You can lose like 30 seconds there.
Now go
Yeah, luckily we got through it easily enough.
Got a $10 donation from The Wired Knight. Up late with my wife to watch one of our favorite co-op games in BattleBlock Theater. I lost my grandfather last year to cancer, so let's keep the donations going. And remember, even the word hopeless has hope in it. Thanks, Wired Knight.
So what Game Guy did there was, you're supposed to go all the way up to the top of that last room and activate the exploding blocks at the top. Exploding blocks will explode once when you hit it with either yourself or a weapon, and then it'll explode the next one, next one, next one, all the way around in sequence. It's much faster to hit the last few with the force ball and just paddle the boat towards you and just jump straight under the wall. hitboxes are a little odd, so you can see there he was able to hit the cat basically through a block and a wall. There's no clean path, but
We make one.
yeah.
We do have another $10 donation from Reknik that says, doubled as promised. Ghost jumps are riot.
Why won't you listen?
So when you spawn into the beginning of a level, there's about a second of iframes that you can use to jump on things that would normally kill you.
It's really simple.
And we use that in 2 places. Here's the first one.
Dying or messing up.
Yeah. The spikes come up to say hi, but they don't kill us. Hopefully these cats here don't fall us down. Here we'll see ice really, really breaking a level. Basically, as the frog comes around, if we boost on ice, walls have a tendency to just not really exist.
Yeah, they're kind of broken.
If you like it broken, please don't change it. We've got another 30 seconds or so for donations here.
Sure, yeah. We got a $10 donation from Rickett. It says, there's no reasoning with madness, or cats for that matter. Seriously, try talking sense to a cat. They just stare at you with their lifeless, patronizing eyeballs for like a couple seconds, and then they just walk away. And you're like, don't turn your back on me. And they're like, yeah. And you're like, pfft. And then they're like, yeah. But it is what it is, I guess.
We're able to skip, actually first we're able to skip, as we enter a chapter, there's a loading screen that takes about 3 seconds to come up and disappear. We can skip that, so it saves about 30 seconds over the whole run, which is useful. It's always nice to have it. The cutscenes are skippable in this game, which is a shame, because they are brilliant. You don't really need them to understand the story. Actually, that's a lie. They're the only thing that help you understand the story.
In case anyone was wondering what the madness just was there, the game is very entertaining and narrated extremely well. Do recommend.
Yeah, sort out the frog to try and just skip this without having to solve the block puzzle. A jump was kind of finicky. It's quite precise. There's not many frames in it. Not sure off the top of my head. And we also did a bridge fall glitch. So if you jump and grab a block when it's on one of these bridge switches, and it's within 1 block high, if you can jump, grab it, and it'll register it as it's off the block for a little bit, and the bridge will disappear. You can fall through if you let go of the block, and the block will put the bridge back on. Use it a little bit later on in Chapter 3 as well.
Keep up the good work. Go, Pink. Go, 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 go.
Those cats are fairly easy to manipulate, so you shouldn't have too much issues with them.
Yeah, you can usually just hold left and you'll be fine.
And then we hit the side of one of the lava blocks to just boost us sideways and skip one of the lava blocks.
This level is terrible.
He's not wrong.
Okay. You can get stuck in a really bad cycle if you get killed at the beginning.
Because you have all the cats to deal with chasing you up, and then you also have the 3 cannons which can shoot at random times in their cycle. So you're never sure if you boost up if you're going to hit a cannon shot or not, because you can only see the first one as you're doing it.
Yep.
How embarrassing.
Three fives where we see bridge will glitch again first. So he'll pull the bridge on, pull the boat over it, and make it fall through. The advantage of doing it in the bridge fall, instead of pushing it over, is that cat to the left of him is now not on solid ground, so he won't throw it. Game guy, you have to scream Pele. You have to honor Brazilian football or soccer legend. We should probably say at this point, it's not good to feed animals to other animals, but we will do it in the name of speed.
It's worth it.
Oh, back up now. It's a bee.
You're doing wingless.
I don't think so.
You can use frogs to jump up this spike wall, the spike stairs, or you could just jump up the spike stairs regularly by spike jumping. We should explain spike jumping. So spike blocks, they have one or two pixels either side of them.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit of leeway, but they're 1 or 2 pixels on either side where you can stand on it because it's still block, but it's not spikes.
Yeah, the hitbox of the spike is slightly smaller than that of the block. Same thing with saws, but they're a bit more complicated.
To find some little sparkly gem-shaped freedom keys. Wink, wink.
This is the first time we see these little puzzle blocks there. To get rid of them, you have to make all 3 match. They're a little bit of time because you can take anywhere between 2 to 6 taps to make them all fit. Actually, could you do it in 1?
That was a 2-hit.
Yeah, that was really good. Really good RNG. Have you ever seen one you're able to do in 1?
I don't think that's possible.
Got a $30 anonymous donation that says, can we low-key admit that this game's music is killer right now? Also, please put this dono to the 24-minute days of Burnout Paradise. I spent so many hours in this game when I was younger.
He did a little bit of cat manipulation there. He was expecting it to run out to the right into the air, where he'd be able to spike it down and have it eaten by the Rackalope. But it didn't run out, so in the end he just shoved it straight off the edge.
Yep.
Same result. You just took the rail up the side there to make sure that they had enough wings to get up to the top safely. Because the wings, from when you collect the wings power-ups, you have 30 flaps. A flap is any jump when you're in midair.
Nice.
Yeah. That's the frame-perfect secret exit we were talking about earlier. So you have 30 flaps, so you can manage it fairly consistently.
We have a $9.47 donation from Sleepless Blue. Interesting BattleBlock theater run, to say the least. Shout out to Mib on the couch, but he knows he truly belongs playing Halo 3. Nicest jobs, guys.
Nice. What we'll do here is the developers very cleverly realized that if we take this block and we're able to get behind it without the bridge being on, then we'll be able to just teleport straight through. They didn't quite expect that to happen, if we're honest. A slight oversight. They tried their best. They put the cloud block there. Just didn't work.
Yeah, originally that was only thought to be possible on client, but a setup was found.
$100 donation from Ultimate Carl. Says, Steve the Avatar all the way. Do it for Death Cannon.
This Rackle up at the end can be facing either left or right at the start. If he's facing off to the right, it's fairly easy to jump over him with the wings. However, if he's facing left, you have to be basically pixel and frame perfect with your wing flaps to get over him.
Yeah, I've only done it twice.
Yeah.
You've really got the crowd eating from your delicate hands now. There's never a dull moment with you at the helm.
Chapter 4 is the first chapter where the Force Ball isn't our most used weapon.
Yeah, this is Frogland.
So you use the frogs there to skip the spike. It saves about 20, 25 seconds.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
Same thing there. He's supposed to bring a rock over from earlier to activate that bridge, but frog's faster.
You can actually do that without weapons, but it's ridiculous.
Nice job there.
I think I can make this.
Lots of room for improvement. Lots of room.
It is possible to start with 4-3 here to be able to frog walk under the fans, but it's really, really tricky getting back up.
It's not something I would try to marathon.
No, definitely an IL strat. One thing we haven't mentioned yet is there are hidden blocks in BattleBlock Theatre. They're blocks, they look like blocks, but you can walk straight through them. Just to the right of the exit there is a set of hidden blocks. Just realized we haven't actually mentioned them yet. And there's a gem hidden behind them.
They're called mystery blocks in the level editor.
We don't believe in the proper name for things, Game Guy. That's how you believe in things being called horses.
Hey, no.
They're clearly pigs.
Never lose hope. I know I did.
So your choice, chat. Horse or pig?
Yeah, let's try to have some sort of decision made by the end of this. You're wrong.
You're very right.
Yeah, you're getting it.
We've got a $5 anonymous donation that says, "Hey Twitch, hope you're enjoying GDQ. First donation here, glad to see you're announcing. Let's fight cancer. Cheers."
You see the difference between PC and console there in that room up there when both the cats are on one side and one was just being bounced around on the lava block. Because the hitboxes are different and they get boosted different amounts. On console, they usually leave each other alone and just fire energy balls. On PC, one of them usually gets caught in the other and they just get flung around the room.
Yeah, there's one other instance of that, but we won't be seeing it.
You can always go back and find what you missed.
As far as I can tell, chat's answer was pig.
You saw Game Guy doing a spike jump there to get across. So he just clipped the edge of the spike block. So it resets his jump because it counts as he's landed. And he's got across safely. I haven't seen that way of doing it before.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, that's a funny looking A.
Normally, people just frog walk across there. I guess that works as well.
Yep.
Works very well.
I would love to tell you where they put the gem.
Fun little fact about 4-7. 4-7 is a secret level. There's 3 ways to get to the secret. The very fast way, a slightly slower way, and a really slow way. The fast way, you wedge yourself in, and you crouch and just mash jump. What no one told me when I was learning it
Find the gems.
is that you had to crouch.
Horrible place.
So it's possible without crouching, but you have to spam jump, is it 13 times a second or something?
Yeah, it's absurdly fast.
Ridiculous. So that was a fun half an hour until somebody told me, by the way, you have to crouch. We saw earlier there was a checkpoint death wall. So he hit the checkpoint before he pressed the button. Pressed the button, killed the cat.
Don't sell yourself.
Once he killed the cat, the rock dropped through, activated the button, and allowed him to go on the level. But he just suicided to respawn at the checkpoint he'd already hit. You'll see it come more into play a lot later in the run.
A $20 donation from Lila says, "Hey, Game Guy and everyone at GDQ staff, good luck in the full event and hope the run goes well. By the way, Game Guy, when's that 100% run? Love you, man. Whole BattleBlock Theater community is rooting for you, even though we're all asleep."
Look like it, but it's a whole lot of fun. Good for you and your bee.
Got a $10 anonymous donation. Have to say I love this BattleBlock Theater run. Much love to all the late night runners and GDQ crew.
That jump there is way too precise for the half a second it saves.
I find it easier.
Coming up, we've got the one strat in the run that's named after me, or a gamer going to attempt to do it. He did it. It's a bit great. It's basically, it saves you having to make an extra throw across onto the... you can throw a rock, jump up, grab it in mid-air, and throw it again. Normally you throw it onto the other launch pad, and it'll fling it up to the top. But if you throw it, get launched up, grab it, you just move vertically upwards with it, and you can just land straight up at top.
Yeah, grabbing it doesn't make you go lower.
There's a reason only one strat in the whole run is named after me. It's because Game Guy finds about 99% of them.
Speaking of dumb strats, this level has a really dumb one. So normally a Mega Booster party would be moving upwards in order for them to work. But there's one pixel where you can use it and it'll send you up regardless of your vertical speed. And riding off a conveyor happens to align you on this pixel, so I'll be trying to do this. Yeah, you have a 1 frame window to do that.
Okay, there we go. Second try. Second try still saves about 4 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds over doing it the normal way.
Yep, yeah, it's still faster.
If you're set on fire, you can jump into water and it'll boost you straight upwards. Game Guy prefers a frog walk there at the end, but most people will just wait at the side until they get set on fire and then jump into the water. The reason Game Guy threw a frog there at the start is so that he could block the laser and beat the cycle just there.
Got a $5 donation from Great Gamer at 94 that says, "What's up, Game Guy? Good luck on the rest of your run."
Thank you.
Store players can also always start in the same position, but when a level loads in, they can either move right or left straight away. So there's 2 cycles they can be on. Because of that, Game Guy got a slow cycle, so he had to take that one very safe.
Yeah.
You've been killed too many times by it before.
Yeah, if I would have slid there, I would have died.
There's a couple of different routes for that 5-3 there, for that 3rd gem. You can either collect it much earlier on in the level, go a little bit off the path, or there's a mystery block, which hides a gem near the end as well.
Your route usually depends on what you're comfortable with and what patterns you're given.
I know I did.
I don't know what I just said.
Sometimes the flag has a little bit of collision, so it's very rare for your force wall to be stopped by it. We used to do a death warp there, but we think leaving the bridge out might be faster.
And it's a lot safer.
Got a $5 donation from Carney and Gabby's dad, donating while my kids are asleep. Hoping to see this on the restream soon.
5-5 is where you first start really using checkpoints to get to our advantage. So this is the first major one we'll see in the run. The saves sort of more than 5 seconds. The other two so far have. But obviously the original checkpoint at the start is right under the exit. So we collect 3 gems and free up those blocks. We're good to go through. That first jump it's a little bit finicky, but where you frog walk across and then jump underneath the corner around.
You can get it consistent though with practice.
No front flips for style. There we go.
Oh hey, how'd.
Oh yes. That reminds us. At a random point in any level, a golden hat can spawn in. It can spawn in at any time. It can even spawn in after you've hit the exit. Basically, the animation of it spawning in is 4.5 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, about that.
And it's an incentive they added, so it spawns in a random time. If you pick it up and take it to the exit safely, you get an extra amount of gems.
And like an extra 5 seconds.
Yeah, there is an animation that goes along with it, so we try not to pick it up if we do get it. It's quite good to only have one so far.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I think the worst run ever got 13 hats. That's losing over 2 minutes to nothing.
But think of all the gems.
This final room coming up, it's a little bit tricky. Game Guys made it look very, very easy.
That can go very
just to
bad.
make me look like a fool. Yeah. If the cats get in your way and start just absolutely battering you around, you can lose upwards of 20, 25 seconds just in that room alone. He got a really long laser cooldown there, so he was able to one-cycle it. Spicy menuing.
Gems of 3 will set you free.
Yeah, one of the weird things about this game is that, dependent on your processor speed, your menuing goes faster. Loads also play into account, but there's been an autosplitter in development.
Another thing that ties into it is we run with the frame rate set at 60. We'll use either VSync or DxTory to lock it at 60. The reason we lock it at 60 is because the frame rate is directly tied to the physics of the game. It's tied to the gravity, and if you have really, really low frame rate, sometimes walls and floors just stop existing without you trying at all to break them. Another reason is, if you leave it uncapped, the game will run at 64 frames per second. You'll run at 64 frames per second, it'll be 6% faster, and you'll get an easy world record. So remember, don't do that.
We've had a couple donations come in from some of our French viewers. We got a $10 one from Noir Dez, and I think I will attempt to butcher this not too horribly, but salut, j'ai ça passé que j'ai fait là. believe that approximately means I have no idea what I'm doing. Accurate. $14 anonymous donation says, sorry I couldn't add an additional 0 to the donation amount. Just arrived at work in time to wish good luck to my buddy Game Guy. Go for all the strats. $5 donation from Quagslow. Hey Game Guy, great to see this game. Many fond memories of playing with my sister. Love from India.
Hello. Oh no, we're stuck. Never mind.
This Fire Finale 2 is very, very cycle based. So from about the time you get into that disappearing block maze, basically everything's on the same cycle.
Yeah,
So-
the game technically doesn't have any auto scrollers, but it's basically what they are.
Reigns supreme.
$5 donation from Grizzly Zen says, donating for my boy Game Guy. Don't forget to eat them all.
Shall we find some sparkly gems?
In Chapter 6, the developers made a mistake. They put in a lot of ice surfaces. You've seen from Chapter 2 Finale 1 that we can use it to clip through walls.
And do that.
We really, really abuse it here. Right, there we are.
Extra bundle of gems.
$25 donation from Miles Luigi. Kick cancer's butt.
Thumbs down. Try harder.
Hey, nice.
It's 2.
You can get a really, really nice boost off there, but it's pixel perfect.
Where they put the gems.
It'll boost you
Not gonna.
because however close you're standing to the wall on ice when you boost, basically means you'll get a little bit of height as well. So you have to get a little bit of height to go over one block, but not so much that you bonk on the one above it. It's 1 pixel?
Yep.
Yeah, 1 pixel spot where you can go from. And it basically boosts you straight into that secret room.
Yeah, it's like 4 seconds faster. But it's not safe at all.
It's very nice in that final room. You can be blocked by that cat as you're trying to jump up to the exit, and you get knocked down. And while the cats can't kill you, they just surround you, and it's just an absolute nightmare.
Lose hope. I know I did.
It's the one place where we don't like ice.
Calm your mind. Clear your thoughts. Recall. You clear. All is clear.
Get a $100 anonymous donation. BattleBlock is one of the greatest games ever. Thanks for kicking both the games and cancer's collective butts.
A note about letting the blocks go. The blocks are based on a grid coordinate system, so if you let it go, you're very, very unlikely to leave it exactly where you let it go. it'll usually snap to one of the whatever of the nearest 4 blocks it's in, the most in.
Yeah, there are a few objects that you can't place inside of each other.
You're supposed to build a stair there with a movable block, but turns out they already built stairs for us. Six 5 is probably my favourite stage just because of those spike jumps at the end.
Yeah, it's really satisfying.
I love going for the really silly one. The one that Game Guy did, they were consistent setups, but I go for the one that's, there's one in the minute that isn't consistent setup at all.
Don't fall in that liquid. Take swim.
$20 donation from Kevio says, "Hi, Game Guy. Keep up the great work. Also, hi, good luck."
Do my best.
Another thing we haven't mentioned yet is whenever you get knocked back and you recover from it in the air, you can refresh your jump, so you get another double jump again. So that's if you get knocked back from frog, frisbee disc, force ball.
Time to find some jam.
Boomerang that doesn't really propel you upwards. So it's if you get smacked out. Actually, does boomerang?
Actually, it's quite the opposite. If you're stunned and you walk off a ledge, you don't get your double jump.
I confuse stuns with knockbacks. Rookie mistake. Here, there's a puzzle that nobody in the community knows how to do. So we try and solve it a little bit, we get hot and bothered, we have a little cry, we explode, and just like magic, it's solved.
Yeah, there's no real solution to that.
There is a real solution, but it's not a fast one. Coming up is a really, really cool level. Gengo found the skip. Well, I'll let him talk about it. It's his baby.
Yeah, this is my favorite level. So this used to be an absolutely terrible level that was really inconsistent for pretty much everybody. But then we noticed that there was ice. Yeah. This guy needs to calm down a bit. There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna wait here for a bit. That's supposed to happen.
I mean, not supposed to happen, but it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
The setup for that is actually fairly lenient.
$30 donation from Matt Barton says, "Ah, this game looks like so much fun. I love GDQ introducing me to wonderful games and supporting wonderful causes. I can confirm that this game is indeed fun, Matt."
That's odd. Normally,
That's a new one.
that's never happened.
No, it hasn't.
Normally the block has disappeared by the time you drop down. You're playing on 64 frames.
No.
That's what you get.
$10 donation from Sap. Forgot to pick up Behemoth's Pit People on sale, so I guess I'll just spend that money on a run from their last game instead. Always fun seeing this game in action. Thanks for keeping the night shift entertaining.
Really simple. Do this as fast as possible without dying or messing up.
That saw isn't real.
We have a $9.88 anonymous donation. Bad joke incoming. Why not call the catmanip catnip for short? After all, they are acting different from normal. I'm sorry.
There's about 20 different ways to do that. That
Yeah.
ending to 6 finale 2.
They're all bad. Yeah, the next two chapters are the most intense gameplay-wise. Almost every chapter,
Now it goes without
or every
saying,
level
but
has a skip.
cats really don't like to be ignored. My oh my, the staff. Choose your favorite head face and weapon too.
So boomerangs can collect gems.
Fine, so long as you find the gem.
Normally you're supposed to go around the entire level here, turning off switches and but we can just do this, and that's that.
Chapter 7 has a habit of having two styles of levels. Either one style like this, where they put you're meant to go all the way through it, and they put the exit very close to the entrance, and you just go back through onto the entrance. The other style is you go through one gauntlet, you activate a switch, and you come back through a slightly harder gauntlet.
I need to focus for this one.
This is a really interesting skip the game guy found recently. Very recently, it was it wasn't that long ago. What he's going to do is he's going to dupe an aeroplane. So if you throw an aeroplane, but swap out your weapon and swap back to aeroplane as you're throwing it, you're able to throw a second aeroplane or a second weapon without the aeroplane exploding. So what happens is he got it to land on the spikes and use the knockback from the frog to slide over the spike.
A couple of years ago, fire and vulnerability glitch was used to get past that in co-op. Sadly, that's not doable in solo. At least we don't think it is.
Not with that attitude. Oh. Unlucky on the bonk there. So he's going to do the airplane dupe glitch again here, because there's this checkpoint, and we can't drop back through the clouds behind us, but we can skip it. We're able to jump over it because checkpoints have a very, very low hitbox. It's the height of it, the height of the checkpoint's hitbox is probably about as wide as the actual checkpoint flag is.
Yep.
It's like someone came over and just shoved it on its side.
Try and I try and I try. C is bad, A is good. Why won't you listen?
Yeah, it's actually possible to dupe as many airplanes as you want.
I did.
And it's possible to do it to the point where the game actually starts to lag.
7.5 is probably one of the biggest checkpoint skips in the run.
Yeah, this one's one of the hardest.
There is a setup that's reasonably consistent, and it makes it fairly easy to do. But it's always a pain when you fail it.
I wasn't worried.
Yeah, missing this is usually just an instant reset. We don't have to reset.
As you can see there, if he'd hit that checkpoint, he would have had to go either all the way back through the level or reset and try again. We just let the Duck Shock out to do whatever he wants. We don't really care about him at this point. Just framed too early on that pause.
Gems of 3 will set you free.
For those of you who played along at home and struggle with 7-7, you might want to look away now. You can drop a frog down here, collect 3 gems, do the same on the other side, straight in the exit. I remember 7-7 giving me so much problems, casually.
That's what you get.
Yeah, we're avoiding the checkpoints in this level too.
Normally you're meant to put a little bit of care into that puzzle, so you have a nice route when you come back. That's not great. It's not the end of the world. He still didn't hit. He didn't hit the latest checkpoint.
We've got a $15 donation from The Rockin' Geek. Hi all from Australia. Had to donate to support such an awesome cause and for all the brilliant runners. Also a massive thanks for entertaining and keeping me company while I recover from a broken leg. Here's to a quick recovery, geek.
Ideally, he would have missed the checkpoint and spawned back in at the starting cage, which is just right underneath the exit.
And that's how you don't do it.
We have a $5 donation from Sunme. Hey guys, glad I took a peek, as I'm super enjoying seeing Game Guy destroy them blocks. Adore this game, so it's awesome seeing it run so well.
The routing for this scene has changed pretty dramatically. Originally, we used to actually do it mostly the way it was intended, with a couple of boosts to speed things up. But as of late, we've started knocking the cat up top onto the green switch. You have to be standing on a green switch to free up the exit. And normally you stand on that green switch, it releases a rock, and then you put the rock onto another green switch. And so we've saved probably 20 seconds on that stage.
Yeah, 15, 20. It's pretty a lot. It's quite a bit.
We have a $250 donation from Zero Bates and Brother. Says, good luck, game guy. Shout out to our Discord.
Yeah, these are the hardest levels in the game, these two.
What he did there was he took the rock off the button just long enough for it to, just long enough to free up the bridge on the other side that drops all the rocks and frees up the exit. But the way he also did it was he did it without hitting the checkpoint, so he was able to spawn back in right at the start of the level. Yeah, the hitboxes on these grenades on PC is just ridiculous.
Yeah, on console they explode on the bottom.
Get a load of Prince BattleBlock over here. Easy crown, Your Highness.
PC, I'm pretty sure they actually did get the cats to throw nukes, if I'm honest.
$10 donation from Jengus. Simply
I
says,
admire
good
your
luck,
tenacity.
guys.
Truly I do. For show. But things have really gotten out of control. Never lose hope.
So we come now to the final chapter, and it's quite difficult because most of it is cycle-based, but it's not consistent cycles of weapon cats and fuzzy bears. It's saw blades, lasers, cannons, everything.
Yep.
Nice.
That was pretty smooth.
Really smooth onto the exit.
Lots of room for improvement. Lots of room.
There are a couple of ways to manipulate those rattleoaks. Game guy knows more about them than I do, so I'll let him explain.
If you go inside of the radius and leave twice, they'll stop moving for a little bit.
That checkpoint skip there is a little bit tricky, but nice save. Kobe. You boost in there, you end up straight on the exit.
Yep. Yep. And when they're stunned like that, they can't eat anything.
So we've got a really cool skip coming up here. Hopefully we get it first try. That's really hard to do because you have to use the double jump off the frog as well as the knockback from it to counteract the fans.
Yep.
I would love to tell you where they put the gems, but I'm not gonna.
A4 is it the longest level or one of the longest?
I think it's one of the longest, yeah.
It's definitely one of the longest. We're not sure if it's the longest or not. It's close between this and 6-8, even after the skip. Very tight on that laser. It's the longest, and even if you do it perfectly, there's not... It still takes over a minute. This is really long and involves a lot of waiting all throughout the whole stage.
Let's see.
That would probably be a good time for donations if there are any.
Sure thing. We have a $20 donation from Makoto Redheart. First-time donator, long-time watcher. I just recently got a job, so I'm glad that I'm finally able to donate to this amazing cause. This game was really hard for me to beat, so I'm in awe of seeing someone actually speedrun it and not die. Good luck to the runner. We've also got a $10 donation from Carrie Dactyl. Good job. I love cats.
I'm not sure if we mentioned it yet, but it's possible to softlock a lot of levels.
Oh yeah.
We know it's possible to softlock so many because Game Guy has a way of thinking. It's not how can I make this game faster, it's how can I softlock this game.
It works some of the time.
So what is the worst idea you've had in BattleBlock?
Not sure. Probably trying to set yourself on fire in order to soft-lock.
I like your particularly stupid 7 Finale 1.
Yeah, so there's an IL strat for Chapter 7 Finale 1 that involves mashing against portals that have rope boulders falling out of them. The odds of it actually happening are like 1%. But if you get it, it's like 16 seconds faster, so... It's a bad idea, don't do that.
I think my favourite thing about this level is it is possible to bring that duck shark all the way back to the start of the level.
It's also another level you can soft-lock pretty easily. Because when you push the block over at the end, it shortens the cycle. So if you happen to miss the checkpoint at that, and then go towards the end, you'll die, and then be stuck.
You probably could have made that cycle if you wanted to, but it's a little bit tight.
Yeah, sometimes the
safe.
cooldown makes it hard.
These portals are like spikes, lasers, and sword blades. You can stand on the edge of them, and you won't actually go into the portal. The portals and lasers are a lot more lenient for where you can stand. Oh, just missed it. You just have to wait for it to go now.
just coming up to the end here. There are 3 more levels.
Coming up is 8-9. It's a stage most people really, really struggle with. It's a lot of cycle-based and a lot of platforming based around it. What he's done here early is he's managed to skip the first saw blade cycle. Normally, you have to wait for that saw blade to come towards you and then wait for it to go away. But as you're going out after it, you'll sometimes go straight into it and kill yourself. So it's always really good to skip that first cycle, but it is really, really hard. You have to be spot on with your jumps at the start. Not trying the frog stair stack.
No,
Why?
because I'll die.
Thank you, Pig. You have served us well.
Yeah, it's the last one.
So he just used a knockback there to push the weapon cap off his plinth and basically cause him to kill himself. These cannons can be really, really bad. Sometimes you get all 4 of them firing same direction at once.
Yep.
And you just get an absolute wall of cannons. The reason he didn't go straight up without a Mega Boost there is because you have different hitboxes depending on whether you're running or jumping. If you're running into a wall, it's slightly wider. So he runs in, then he holds neutral as he does the Mega Boost, that's the one. And so when he's jumping, he's not exactly flush with the wall, so it doesn't boost him straight up into the spikes.
Yeah. That cutscene is broken, by the way. I don't know why any...
Time's coming up quite shortly.
Yeah, when I touch the boat. Time.
Most of that ordeal was unpleasant to the point of sucking
Good
a
time.
whole lot. But now it's
Oh,
time
was it?
to relax.
1:18:57.